Maybe if Frank learned to follow the clock, he would have 300 viewers. Well, to be fair, when I used to have, 400 or 500 viewers per live stream, I would go live a little earlier, but the reason I wait now, usually 10, 15 minutes after the live stream is scheduled to start is because I just don't really get enough viewers to start on time. If there's only like 5 or 10 people in the chat when I start, there's not really much to talk about. So today, guys, we're just gonna do like a general Q&A. Last Thursday, which was the last time we live streamed, you guys had a lot of nutrition and health related questions in the chat. So hopefully that replicates itself today. But usually what happens is when I want to do like an Ask Me Anything, people ask about like current events and news and the Toyota Corolla nonsense. And then when we want to do the Toyota Corolla nonsense, it usually goes opposites. But we'll see whatever you guys want to talk about today. We can focus on it. I didn't look at any news over the past few days, any current events or that type of stuff. So I don't know what the recent brainwashing stuff is, and I still need to make sure to kind of write out a template for basically like an introduction of what we have to talk about on those live streams, just so we don't really repeat points too much, and if we can develop any new ideas too. But how are you guys today? We'll see how long we're gonna go live for. I didn't eat yet today, so maybe we'll keep it a little shorter and I'll go eat something. What do you think about strength training when you already have muscle? Like switching over from bodybuilding to powerlifting or something like that. You would just switch up your training style initially, probably start incorporating heavier weight towards the beginning of the session, maybe try to keep the volume the same, see how you respond. You find it ironic you blast yourself with ionizing radiation when you use the tanning bed, but non-ionizing AirPods are bad. I don't use the tanning bed really anymore. I used to use it because of just to clear up my skin, and I'm looking at getting a tanning bed or some type of tanning device myself to use. But your theory of ionizing radiation, non-ionizing radiation is like saying there's a threshold for poison. Like if you're gonna drink rat poison, or you're gonna drink bleach, yeah, there's a threshold of drinking bleach where it's gonna make you much sicker, or like there's a certain amount your body can tolerate. But the thing is, like, the radiation stuff isn't correct. And I've done a video on this. It's titled Why Non-Ionizing Radiation is Harmful. So basically the whatever communications governing body, the FCC, whatever bullshit, the fact that they're even able to say that a microwave in your house is safe is absolutely insane. And if you Google, I bet you if you Google is a microwave safe, it's going to say something along the lines of, this governing body says that those levels of radiation are okay, but is it, let's check. Let me check. Is a microwave safe? Are microwaves safe? Microwaves are a safe, effective, and highly convenient cooking method. There is no evidence that they cause harm, and some evidence that they're even better than other cooking methods of preserving nutrients. Yeah, so it's complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. They're lying directly to your face, saying that it's safe to use. When in reality, I have a video on microwaves separately too, and all these radiation devices. But the one thing I talk about that might get me censored the most is speaking out against radiation, because without radiation, people basically can't live their modern lives. Tanning beds have so much more radiation than AirPods. Not really. AirPods are very high radiation, very close to your brain, and I would argue that wearing AirPods is actually more dangerous than a tanning bed, especially throughout the length of time you wear them and what people are using them for. What do you think about the election? Who do you think wins the election? I know you don't think it matters. I mean, did you see my video, will they off Biden, where I kind of gave my thoughts on that? I kind of said, hey, there seems to be two possibilities. Like, they kill Biden and bring in Harris, or they flip it over and give it to Trump to cause chaos. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if they're just going to let Biden sit around for a couple months to a year or two and then kill him? Who knows what's going to happen? The point is, we know what their end goal is in a sense in the New World Order agenda. We know right now they're using the pandemic, the coronavirus, to control the public. We know they're trying to destroy small businesses. We know they're trying to make everyone destitute and desperate, and they're bringing in these ideas of like freedom passports, medical mandates to travel, more control, social credits. They're bringing in a bunch. We know they're making people, we know they're destroying people's businesses, making people desperate for employment, making people broke, and they're bringing in these ideas that no one would normally agree to. And then they're saying, oh, if you you need to get vaccinated to work, shit like that. So we see what they're trying to do. It's just people aren't really putting two and two together. So whatever happens pertaining to the election, it's going to be conducive to that goal. Finally, you have Warrior bars I was going to buy, but it was sold out the first day it was available. Yeah, I told my web developer not to make it live yet, but we did anyway. I think I told them you could put them on there, but just put it sold out. I wanted to have the Frankie's Free Range Foods website ready for everything for when we launch, hopefully next week. We're putting up the cod liver oil, we're putting up the Warrior bars, and we have the animal fats available now. Hopefully sometime in the future as well, we might have some freeze-dried ground beef. I'm not sure how that's going, but we're adding more foods to Frankie's Free Range Foods, more non-perishable stuff. Hopefully we can expand, and the Warrior bar should be good when we get to launch it this week or next week. You think LeBron James is in a secret society? Every celebrity, any famous person, anyone you've probably heard about is in some type of secret society. Every social media influencer, even most people you don't know that are any successful at all. We did a video on cannabis. What are your thoughts on psilocybin mushrooms? I haven't looked at what mechanisms in the brain they disrupt, but usually usually a lot of these psychedelic drugs and stuff usually fry your brain or impair your thoughts. So it's very important to have a lot of omega-3 in the diet for healing the brain and sleeping well and reducing Wi-Fi exposure. Honestly, you're the last guy that I'm the last guy you should be arguing with about Wi-Fi radiation, dude. I sleep in a metal box, so carrying a cell phone on with you the whole day is far more detrimental than going to a tanning bed. Is creatine work? I did a whole video on creatine like 2 years ago. It was immediately censored, so I don't think creatine probably makes a lot of money or something. When will you have the whey grass-fed organic? It should. Oh wait, did he take the whey off there? No, it should be on there. The whey protein is on. The grass-fed whey protein is available on Frankie's Free Range Foods. So by that logic, Democrats win the election, continuing with their cancellation of freedom. Got it? Well, one thing with the divide and conquer stuff is they're trying to say, oh, they're blaming Democrats or Republicans for doing X, Y, Z policy, but reality is they're all against you. It's all divide and conquer. Whether it's a Democrat or Republican, they're still going to be enacting the New World Order agenda. Whether you're in America or Italy or France or China or Russia or India, it's called the New World Order. They're called globalists. It's called the Great Reset. Every country is cooperating. The illusion that you have a choice or the illusion that one country is different from another is very, very apparently wrong when you realize that all of these world governments are cooperating together at once to shut down the world, which should scare the fuck out of people. The thing that should scare people the most is that how the hell does every government suddenly just cooperate and lock down together? They're all in on it. That's so obvious. How can Elon Musk work 20 hours a day and not get brain dead? He's a liar because he's a she, first of all. He's on all sorts of drugs and he's a fucking puppet, or she's a puppet. Do you still have 17-inch arms? If I really, really ate a lot of food and pumped up, I could probably get close to 17-inch arms, yeah. YouTube is comical. 100K subs, getting no more than 5K views per video. It's usually you have to understand if your channel is like shadow banned and not in the algorithm, the only views you get are from your subscribers. No, I mean, you think about it. If you have 100,000 subscribers and 5 to 10,000 people watch per day, that's actually a lot because you know how many people that subscribe to you are going to be on YouTube every day watching your videos every day. It's not a lot actually. The reason you'll see people with like there's a lot of fitness influencers that'll have like 50, 60, 70K subs, and their vlogs, like just simple fitness vlogs of them eating and working out, are getting, 100,000 views on average every time they upload. It's because their videos get pushed in the algorithm and they're getting a lot of people that don't subscribe to them watching the video. But if my YouTube channel isn't in the algorithm, then I'm kind of screwed. Do your parents watch your videos? Yeah, sometimes my dad does. He actually watched my video today, and he told me I forgot to move the address sign of the house in the video, but I can blur that out. Why isn't this working? I did an email consultation a few weeks ago, but I still have some problems. Can I ask some questions via email? Yeah, no, if you could send questions via email, state the problems, and then we'll go back and forth for a little bit. I bet my money they give Trump the win. I would too, yeah. If I had to bet, it seems like they're setting it up for Trump winning. What, a phototherapy device? Let me check what that is. It's a dermatological, is it a dermatological light? Those usually aren't big enough. I mean, you got to. I mean, that's a broad term for different devices. Like, what type of bulbs is it? What's the strength of the bulb? That type of stuff. That's what I'd be curious about. Is it UVB bulbs? You'd basically want a tanning bed with Did I put my French fries in the oven? I think I did. You basically want a tanning bed that's set up with high UVB bulbs. Do they ever explicitly agree to be part of a secret society, but they act for them anyway? Are most secret societies members, do they never explicitly agree to be part of a society, but they act for them anyways? No, when people join secret societies, they're part of them. Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that secret societies even exist. It's not like there's a bunch of it's not like there's like millions of it's not like there's millions of Americans that are like, you know how like millions of Americans think COVID is nonsense and mass bullshit, that type of stuff. It's not like there's millions of people that know who the Freemasons are and that they're the assholes running the world and they're all in on their little secret. Like the Freemasons know COVID is fake. They know they're using it to their own benefit. They're a bunch of like Satan worshippers, basically. They do evil stuff. Like no one's on to the Freemasons, so there's no reason they would have to do something like that. No one's on to the Illuminati. Most people don't even know about secret societies, let alone which ones they are. Frank, you have so much more life in your eyes and face since you introduced carbs. Did you notice the difference? People keep saying that, and like I've been eating honey for a year, so it's kind of stupid. Was that guy who commented on your video today telling you to reconsider doing YouTube actually a current lawyer? No, I don't think so. You should look at the background of Paul, the lawyers. Are you worried about Reproduction? No, I don't really care about the lawsuit and stuff. It's just his goal is to waste my money, so I got to figure out what I want to do. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I might have to make a couple of changes in the next few months in regards to whether I want to even do these businesses or not, see how these lawsuits go. Maybe I'll just have other people run the businesses for me. The guy doesn't have a case, you know. He doesn't have a case, but the problem is, if he spends a few $1,000s to have a liar sue me in a court, I'm already out thousands of dollars in legal counsel because I'm not a lawyer. I don't study New York law. I don't know court proceedings. I could try to figure it out myself, but you know, and unfortunately it usually makes more sense about me spending a couple weeks of unfortunately it makes more sense that I spend a couple weeks of my salary on a lawyer as opposed to trying to do it myself. Are you going to sue him back? Well, something I've said several times, guys, plagiarism is not illegal. Plagiarism is not illegal. So you'd have to find a law that the plagiarism would constitute under. You'd have to find a law that makes the plagiarism illegal. So if there's like a law that says like if there's a law for like unfair business practice that you can't open up a McDonald's across a McDonald's, like that would be where you could fit the plagiarism under. Like, okay, like making titling your restaurant McDonald's and copying their menu piece by piece and making the same exact stuff from them by plagiarizing McDonald's. That's technically not an illegal act to do, but it probably falls under some type of unfair business practice law where it's like, all right, well, yeah, you can't do that. That's not fair. You're copying their business model. You're doing the exact same thing as them. You're clearly trying to impact them. It's something like you'd have to fit the plagiarism under something like that. Kind of hard to believe that some other carnivore diet influencers haven't shared light on your knowledge. Like, how have you not made it to Joe Rogan? You have to understand that all of those people are in the club together, and all they're trying to do is just make money with their sponsorship, selling certain products. You're Italian and don't have a lawyer in the family? No, I don't. Copyright is implied, Frank. It's illegal. You have to say, okay, what's copyright? You know, repeating someone's words from a YouTube video isn't a copyright. If he were to take an actual clip of my YouTube video and put it in his video, that's what copyright is. Hey, Porch Turds, thanks for the $10, man. I was thinking about doing like like raise lawyer fees to sue Rat Boy, but I don't think I would make anywhere near enough money to do it. I think I'm out at least. Just when someone sues you to get any representation, you're out at least $10,000 off the bat. Lawyer, but the initial deposit, lawyer's going to be at least 10 grand off the bat. That's minimum. That's why I'm thinking about just not defending myself, just doing it myself. It's kind of fucking ridiculous if you think about it. If someone spends just $2,000 or $3,000 to write up a lawsuit against you and sues you, the second they do that, you're instantly out money unless you know a lawyer or have representation. You're instantly out a giant amount of money, and you have to hire a lawyer within 3 weeks of being sued. It's kind of ridiculous. It makes it almost seem like all the courts and shit are just in it to make money for themselves. Noonga, I haven't had probiotics in a long time. How much fermented sauerkraut juice would needed for daily for a potent source of probiotics? You could send me Noonga, send me an email with that question, and I can talk about that a little bit. You can email frank at frank-defano.com. Can't you get him to pay your lawyer fees if you win? Well, look, he sued me once already, and I was out $13,000 in lawyer fees, and the court did not award my fees back. The court did not award my $13,000 back after the case was dismissed based on lack of jurisdiction. That fucking dirtbag sued me in San Diego, claiming he sued me in San Diego Superior Court, claiming he had jurisdiction there, knowing that I lived in New York. I had to pay $13,000 for a San Diego lawyer, and then they didn't award my lawyer fees after the case was dismissed based on lack of jurisdiction. How ridiculous is that? I was out $13,000 and I didn't get my lawyer fees back. So I'm going into this knowing I'm just gonna lose money. What's the push? Why is the push to electric cars so quick by 2030? Because you get radiated in the car, and they can read your mind with various Wi-Fi can be used to read your mind, and also high electronic devices are very damaging to your body. Driving it, I joke about my 2001 Ford Taurus, but it's all mechanical. It doesn't have super high magnetic or electric or Wi-Fi fields, unless you bring your phone into your car. Something like an electric car or a Tesla, it's like driving in a fucking microwave. It's very bad for you. People are going to get very sick once everyone starts driving electric cars. I spammed Rat Boy's latest video. He's so annoying. Yeah, I usually never look at his channel, but for some reason, I was looking at his channel today to see if there was any blowback about me talking about the lawsuit, and you guys actually went over there and spammed his page without me asking you to. How do people on YouTube include clips from other channels when doing reviews if there's copyright laws? Because usually usually you have to be kind of connected and have a high level. You have to have like a lawyer or like a copyright lawyer working with you on YouTube to copyright other people's videos. Otherwise, you're just filling out a generic form. And there's also fair use. So if someone just takes your video and plays it on their channel, that's copyright. But if someone like plays a 20-second clip and talks about it, and that's usually under fair use because it is in the public domain on YouTube. All the judges and lawyers are Masons. You have no chance. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by you have no chance on that. I don't know if you mean by like I'm gonna get fucked either way. I don't know what you mean by you have no chance. Like, do you mean I have no chance as in I'm gonna have to spend a lot of money, or do you mean I have no chance as in they're just gonna rule against me because they're all in the club and I'm not? Either way, that doesn't sound. What I was thinking about doing, which I actually asked the lawyer, but he didn't really want to talk about it. He said I can't talk about that, probably because he is a Mason. If you go to a Masonic lodge, do they have to give you a list of members? Is there some type of like natural law where if you go to a Masonic lodge, they have to give you a list of the members of the lodge? Is that a thing? A little evidence towards mind reading Wi-Fi would go a long way for me. Can you give a good article to look at? I mean, a simple explanation for that is they have had devices there. You could probably I didn't save the articles off the top of my head, but there are instances of different types of wavelengths and technology that were used to put thoughts in people's heads. But from a more simplistic point of view, your actual physical thoughts and things you think are actual. They have energy. They're magnetic, which people don't know. Your thoughts and your energy is magnetic. When you think, it's actually, when you think about like fucking some Russian model, it's not just you thinking about it. It's an actual thought. It's an actual physical thing. So it emits a certain type of energy. So obviously, if they have devices that can emit these types of energy, and your brain is energy, well, why can't they just? They can obviously probably change the energy in your brain. My father is unreasonably scared of the virus. He calls me selfish for cutting hair and has asked me to stop. What's your strongest argument to wake him up? Well, when I went to have my jaw surgery, my parents made me wear a mask in the house for 2 weeks. I mean, the problem is, yeah, the main thing you have to understand is once people have been brainwashed for 2 months, Once people have been under the psychological warfare and the fear-mongering operation that is being done by the mainstream media, by the United States government, by all world governments, once people have been brainwashed by that fear-mongering coronavirus pandemic nonsense for 2 months, there's studies that have shown that after that period of brainwashing, the person's opinion cannot be changed regardless of what you say. Think about trying to tell a Christian or a religious person that God doesn't exist. You could tell them whatever the fuck. You could fucking show. You could show a fucking stone from Jerusalem that Jesus wrote himself that said I never actually existed. I'm a fake, and they still wouldn't fucking believe you. The point is, once someone is under a certain amount of brainwashing, the way the brain works, they cannot be convinced regardless of what you tell them. You can give them direct proof or evidence that contradicts what they believe. They still will not believe you because of the methods that have been used to impart those ideas into their head. The main reason for that is the average person does not have the intelligence to understand why it's fake. So technically, they can use frequencies to program Frank to believe a vegan diet is optimal, COVID is real, and 5 grams isn't harmful. Imagine just changing your mind overnight. I don't think it works exactly like that. I think they could put ideas in your head and to get you to think about certain things, but it's not like they can change. They can get you to think about a certain idea, but they can't get you to change like your personality and that type of stuff. I guess one really good argument against coronavirus is like it's like make it a joke. Like oh, you really think the government cares about you now? After what they've done, after they steal a third of your money in taxes every year, after they poison your food and water, they put fluoride in the water, they sell you shit all day, they tell you vegetable seed oils are good, they tell you fat is bad, they tell you it's okay to eat sugary pastries every day. No, wait, but now the government suddenly cares about you, so you got to stay locked inside? It's fucking ridiculous. YouTube donation isn't working. It should work. Because someone just donated on YouTube 10 minutes ago. But thanks for the $10, Carnivore. Are you really eating all that rice in the morning? Even half of it seems like too much. Yeah, it's too much. I don't really eat that much. I usually eat half the plate or a quarter of the plate. Do you have proof that God doesn't exist? I'm not a Christian, by the way. The problem is the burden of proof should be on people to prove that. The burden of proof should be on the media and the global governments to prove that the virus does exist, which they actually technically haven't done yet. So what's funny is that the government has put the conspiracy people and the people against it in a position where, okay, well, you have to prove the virus doesn't exist. And I'm like, well, you didn't prove it exists in the first place. So they've already pigeonholed you to a position which is fucking ridiculous. Are fluoride and chlorine and other chemicals not already in the water? I thought the filters just filter out what's naturally there. Now it was added to the water. No, when the water goes through the processing plant, they add fluoride and chlorine to it. I'm not a fucking water processing plant expert. All I know is that you shouldn't. Knowing dramatic details about certain things is not really that important. What you can safely say is that, okay, well, people are taking antibiotics and birth control and pissing and shitting in the water table, and farmers are spraying agrochemicals, and that stuff's getting in the water table. So the point is, you should test the water you're drinking and see what's in it. And if it's not good, then find another source of water and drink that and test it. Why would they add fluoride and chlorine to the water? Because fluoride fluoride prevents tooth decay under certain circumstances, and chlorine is a disinfectant. There's so much crap in the water. They add chlorine in it to disinfect it. What's it called? Number of CBD deaths went down. They're making counted as COVID deaths to make money. Well, no, I mean, we've spoken about this. What people have to understand is there's natural laws on this planet, and by the natural laws on this planet, the globalists can't just go around and shooting everyone that doesn't agree with them. Um, it sounds weird, but the person has to determine their own fate, which is why they try to brainwash and convince and abuse people so much. So they can't just go around and spray shit in the air and get everyone sick and kill them. They have to, in a way, get the person to consent to being killed, i.e., going into a hospital, getting put on a ventilator, all that type of stuff. So the reason they have to label all of these fake, all of these heart attacks and flu people, and basically anyone that dies in a hospital, they label it with a COVID death. Everyone that's dying right now is basically a COVID death. One, mainly so the hospital gets paid out and so they can fudge the statistics. The oven timer was on. Was the oven still on? All right, I'll take a look. When fermenting oats, why do people tell you to discard the oats at the sediment? That's like 1% of the mass. That just doesn't sound right. That's like some specific oat fermentation from sowins. I don't really know. It seems like a lot of waste though. I agree. Is there any point of working out and eating healthy if we're being radiated? That's a good point to bring up. So if you think about it, most people on a standard American diet, when they try to lose weight and get healthy, they start like, reducing their fat, eating whole grains, going in the gym to do cardio every day. So yeah, there's a high percentage of people that think they're being healthy. I would say over 90% are actually not doing what they need to do to be healthy. Instead of like going vegetarian and doing 2 hours of jogging a day, which is what most people think is healthy, what they should be doing is eating steak and sleeping in a metal box. You have to understand what the body actually needs and what's actually happening in your environment. Um, now to answer that question in a different way, if you were actually eating healthy and working out and you were still getting radiated, yeah, you would feel better. But that's why when I have consultations with people and when I talk to people, what usually at least one of the main focuses of the consultation is how do we effectively reduce the Wi-Fi in the environment. Can you talk about the drug? Another note on that question is, yeah, it's arguably more important to reduce the Wi-Fi radiation in your environment than to pay for a gym membership or buy healthy food in some cases. Can you talk about drug addiction rates? I don't really look into that a lot. I mean, I think if you ask the average person, most people would know that a ton of Americans are on pharmaceuticals, a ton of people smoke pot, a ton of people use drugs. How much does Streamlabs take from donations? Have you tried? I don't think Streamlabs even take a percentage from donations? Either way, I don't know, and I don't worry about certain things I do with money because I don't make a lot of money. So like if I make like $50 a week in Streamlabs donations, I don't worry about it too much. I just make sure like if people donate, I thank them and I address their question. When do you think organ supplements will be back? I don't know. It's been a nightmare. I've been out of stock of products for 6 months. With this coronavirus pandemic stuff, getting products is tough, especially because I didn't have an established business line before. I'm trying to get. I've been trying. I paid for the supplies for organ supplements over 2 months ago, and it's still stuck in shipment. So I don't know when I'm gonna have it. Frank, I was surprised what you said about God now. Aren't you a believer in God? You guys know Jesus died when he was 33 years old, and there were 33 degrees of Freemasonry. Like, everything is scripted and written. I think Russia used to be pretty conscious of radiation. I mentioned earlier that Russia had microwaves banned. In my microwave video, I post a snippet of a Russian document, and in that Russian document, not only did it say microwaves are banned, it had like, maybe I didn't put it in that video. Maybe I did. I don't remember, but it also said on that document, like, especially with pregnant women, like, okay, you can't use a cell phone. Like, okay, well, if you use if you use a cell phone, don't hold it near your head. And if you do use it, limit it to 15 minutes at a time and take an hour break. So they had very, very strict radiation guidelines in Russia. And now people just have their phones next to them all day. Will you sell shielding fabric? Well, I'm working on getting, maybe we can do Wi-Fi shielding stuff. I'm trying to get the organ supplement stuff first. Maybe we'll go 10 more minutes, guys. I just kind of want to eat, and I still got to work out, and I didn't film a video for tomorrow yet. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Are these companies overcharging for protective clothing, or is it actually expensive to make? I did the math, and most of these companies could probably charge $15-20 less for their shirts and still make a decent profit margin. The clothing is expensive to make, but to answer your question, in regards to the market, I think there is opportunity. If you could do it all yourself, that is. Is it healthier to be? I mean, the advantage I have is I basically just ship shit out of my parents' garage or my other business, so I don't have to have employees or infrastructure when I sell stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, EMF and poor diet is definitely making people unhealthier and unhealthier. I'm just so exhausted. So I just want to hopefully launch my workout routine soon. I kind of just want to stop this bodybuilding stuff, but I know it might be, even in the context of this coronavirus stuff and everything happening, it still seems like people are really following fitness and bodybuilders in the Olympia. How does one start a GoFundMe? Can we make one for Frank to sue Ratboy? Please, let's all jump in on it. Well, first of all, when I did a Kickstarter for Frankie's Free Range Meat, Kickstarter banned me because Kickstarter is owned by secret societies and people, and I'm not in the fucking club. Ironically, ButcherBox was successful on Kickstarter, but that was fake. ButcherBox's Kickstarter funding was just a fucking sham, and then it's a corporation. It was just them. That was their excuse. Oh, that's how we started. We got money from Kickstarter. It's fucking bullshit. They didn't need the money from Kickstarter. It was just a front. So Kickstarter kicked me off, and then I had to actually redo the orders on my own private website. And they even tried to kick me off the web host too. And so if I raised money to sue Ratboy, it wouldn't be through GoFundMe. What I could probably do is I can just tell people to donate to my PayPal, set up have my web developer put a bar. We could put a bar on fucking paulsaladino.com, which would be funny. We could say sue Ratboy at the top of the website, and we could put a tracking bar for how much money is donated. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough money to make a dent. Even if I got $1,000 from everyone, it's just not enough to hire a lawyer. You know, I'm not going to raise $10,000 to, and I wouldn't want to ask people to. I wouldn't want to ask people to. I don't want my viewers to have to pay because this guy's an asshole. That's ridiculous. Why would I ask my viewers for money Why would I ask my viewers for money if one asshole is suing me? I mean, yeah, it's damaging my business and it's making it difficult for me to provide quality animal products, but usually in the long run it should work out. If this guy's just making himself look bad by suing me. Raise money for your farm. You guys are greatly underestimating how much money people are actually willing to give someone, especially in the context of everything going on, which is why I've tried to create businesses and sell products like Frankie's Naturals and organ supplements to raise money so that I can save up money to purchase a farm or do a business to make more money to provide people with quality animal foods. But all these Kickstarters and can't, dude. Back when I was doing the Kickstarter, Jordan Peterson, like the Jordan Peterson, tweeted. I mean, the guy's a shill fucking cuck rat right now. But the point is, super duper fucking famous, tweeted my Kickstarter for Frankie's Free Range Meat. At the time, I was on slightly better terms for them. I didn't get one fucking sale. Jordan Peterson tweeted my business, and I didn't get one sale. So it seems like you really have to sob it up or some shit and ask for donations and pretend you're dying or some shit to get people to give you money. High Intensity Health is selling an EMF neutralizer. I'm glad you told me that. Now I can call him a fucking cocksucking fucking liar. High Intensity Health. Tell that dipshit to send me one. I'll review it for free. I'll show him how it doesn't fucking work. I have a meter right here. You know, I figured out. I'm trying to figure out why there was radiation. And the rest of my house is really low. The rest of my house is relatively low radiation because I have everything shielded. I turn everything off. But I'm at the front of my house, on the second floor, and I'm in New York, so it's a suburban environment, so I'm close to the street. So there's some type of radiation coming in from the fucking from the street that I gotta put like aluminum on the wall now to block the radiation. If you go into legal and regulatory in the iPhone settings, it says to not have it near you. Does it? So you go under settings. Where is that? Should I search for legal or just scroll down through the settings? Legal, general, about, legal, about. What is it? What did that guy say in the chat? If you go to legal and regulatory in iPhone settings, I don't. Says, legal and regulatory. Legal notices, license, warranting, RF exposure. So it says RF exposure. That's all right. So hold on. Legal and regulatory is under general. So under general, so you go to settings, general, about. Hold on. So you search for legal on settings. Then under general, about, you go to. Oh, where was that? Yeah, under general settings, you go to legal and regulatory. Legal and regulatory, it's RF exposure. iPhone has been tested and meets applicable limits to radio frequency exposure. Specific absorption rate refers to the rate at which the body absorbs RF energy. During testing, iPhone radios are set to their highest transmission levels and placed in positions that simulate uses against the head with no separation, and when worn or carried against the torso of the body with a 5 mm separation. To reduce exposure to RF energy, use a hands-free option such as the built-in speakerphones, the supplied headphones, or other similar accessories. Cases with metal parts may change the RF performance of the device, including its compliance with RF exposure guidelines. Although this device has been tested to determine SAR in each band of operation, not all bands are available in all areas. Well, they're technically telling you it's safe, but they also tell you how to reduce RF exposure. Legal notices. Oh, this is fucking long. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something in the legal notices too that warns about it, like they're not liable for something or something. I think you should make more strongman critiques that seem to do good. I mean, I could probably do 2 critiques a day. I mean, not 2 critiques a day. I should probably do 2 critiques a week instead of 1 a week. Maybe. When my channel was really popping, I used to try to do critiques on like what I would call. I don't even like talking about this stuff because I give people like insight to YouTube that normal people don't even know. Like on a Friday, like people don't want to watch fucking YouTube. Like people might not want to watch YouTube on a Friday, but if you pick like a really good clickbaity, entertaining video for Friday, that gives them more incentive to watch it. Like you don't want to do a video on Friday like boring shit, like analyzing the nutrient profile of 7 different cheeses. Like that's not something you'd post on a Friday because people are gonna be like, Frank, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna go drink some vodka and lick some dirty Russian girl. Like that's what people are doing on Friday. Like they don't give a shit about the 7 different fucking K2 content of different cheeses. What was I getting at? Oh yeah, maybe I'll do more critiques on a weekly basis. Vegetable Police is selling necklace pendants. Can you guys send me this shit if people are selling this shit? One thing I forgot to do if I do Wi-Fi clothing and stuff is talk shit about these devices. This is actually getting bad to the point where I might not be able to wait until I have Wi-Fi protection devices to sell. I might have to just say, hey, these devices aren't working, stop buying them. Wi-Fi neutralizing devices do not work. Guys, if fucking Wi-Fi neutralizing devices worked, I wouldn't sleep in a fucking metal box, you know? Jordan Peterson's a good guy. I'm about to block you from my fucking channel, buddy. How do elite athletes perform in a high EMF environment? 7-foot NBA players have a high tolerance. Oh, well, first of all, that's one big thing. These giant NBA players have the best genetics. They have giant fucking livers. They're super like tolerant of high Wi-Fi environments. They're taking steroids, massive amounts of drugs to give them energy. And honestly, these famous steroids and these famous athletes probably have I would assume athletes and celebrities and politicians have some type of drug that can counter it. I mean, the mechanism of Wi-Fi EMF that mainly destroys cells is calcium metabolism, and there are calcium channel blocking drugs that I'm assuming if you take them would protect you to some degree from Wi-Fi EMF. Does Blue Shield work? What's Blue Shield? Is it a Wi-Fi blocking device? It's that shit doesn't work. All right, guys, we'll wrap this up in 5 minutes. So if you have any more questions, let me know. Are you only eating 2 meals a day? I try to do 2 meals. Past few days, sometimes it's only been 1. My sleep schedule's been so fucked. I've been so tired. Like today, like last night, I went to bed at 6 p.m. and I basically laid in bed until 8 a.m. No. What time did I get up? Yeah, I basically laid in bed until 8 a.m. and then I got up and I had to catch up on all the work from I didn't get it to eat. I had to catch up on all the work from yesterday. I actually missed a day of working out. And then today I had to I'm just so tired and exhausted from the liver damage from the iron overload that I could literally just lay down all day. Eating food for the bodybuilding probably makes it worse. The problem with me is I have to get stuff done and I have like scheduled live streams. I was supposed to talk to some Amish people today. The Amish are hard to get a hold of because they don't use fucking phones. He's like, this guy calls me up every day like, hey, it's Malin. I'll be at the phone from at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'm usually not up at 8 a.m. most days. So this guy's fucking calling me at 8 a.m. most days, leaving me a message. And like today, I took a nap, so I wasn't awake for when he told me he was going to call me later. So that's why you seem paranoid to some people. I mean, you're gonna try. Well, I'm gonna ban you because you're an idiot. But the people need to understand there's millions of people in Freemasonic societies and secret societies, Illuminati, all that type of stuff, and their goal is to deceive and gaslight people and make a certain agenda. Blue Shield is a scalar device, and they say that your body will resonate with its frequencies rather than non-native EMF. So if you take the Blue Shield device, it should be emitting some type of RF itself. That's ridiculous. Your body's Wi-Fi the only thing that can change your frequencies is yourself, and it probably not replicate. That's ridiculous. If it's mainstream, it's likely a shill. No, you don't get on mainstream without being a shill. This stuff doesn't get in the news unless they want it to get in the news. How do you continue to stay alive or work with people if everyone is a Mason? I mean, yeah, the most successful business people are Masons, and they don't really do business with people that aren't in the club. So they still have to abide by some type of like natural law. They can't just steal everything. Are the Amish doing the mask and social distancing BS? I don't think they are. Would you marry a woman from Africa? I mean, women from any country still have the same biological priorities. Yeah, for the most part, there's consistency. I mean, women have a very different biology than men, and it's obvious. It's very obvious in behavior of people in general what their biology is. Guys are really into just going out and trying to hook up with women and fuck as many women as possible. Biologically, that's what they were meant to do. Have sex with as many members of the opposite sex as possible. And they also like sports and competition and fighting and procuring resources. Women, on the other hand, they still like fucking, but instead of just guys just fucking basically whatever they can get their hands on, women are more selective in their partner because women are trying to find a partner that can protect them, procure resources for them, and that type of stuff. And the current why am I talking about this again? Will you marry a woman from Africa? I mean, why is a woman from Africa different than a woman from somewhere else when their biological priorities are generally the same? And And women do have that added aspect of they want to have a baby. Like it's ingrained. Like a lot of females have it. Like if you notice, there are a lot of there's a reason a lot of uh, female teenagers 16, 17, 18, 19 get pregnant. It's because they want to. They want to have a baby. There's an innate biological um, there's an innate biological sense that women want to have a baby. I don't bartend anymore, and when I bartended, I didn't know sports. I mean, I didn't really care about sports, or really never really worked in a sports bar. I mean, yeah, most bars I worked at had TVs. They were always playing sports, but it wasn't really. Women don't want low quality semen, basically. Then you say conventional weed is bad because of the 42 chromosomes. That doesn't necessarily make it bad, but I don't, I'd have to go into more specifics about that. Does that mean women are the healthiest at 16 to 17? Uh, I wouldn't say that. I would say that at a certain age, probably around there for most women, is when their physical adult bodies have basically developed mostly, and then all the nutrition that they're consuming um is used for reproduction. I'm gonna actually try to timestamp this in my head if I'm gonna talk about this. 11/24/2020 p.m. live stream. When the goal of humans is to reproduce, but in order to reproduce, you have to have the vessel to reproduce in the form of an adult body. So usually the nutrients and the minerals and the vitamins and the food and the calories that a child consumes, that a teenager consumes, are going to be used towards the growth of that body. And then once that body has grown enough, then the goal is reproduction once it is at a certain size. Are children and pregnant women the most sensible to radiation? Well, yeah, but women tend to be, a lot of females, unfortunately, tend to be the highest users of radiation. And a lot of baby monitoring devices and devices they're creating now are actually very damaging to children. Sonograms and procedures they get in medical hospitals for pregnancy. Um, I've been very aware of humic and fulvic acid. Or am I thinking of Shilajit? I've heard of fulvic acid. Um, you can I just don't I'd be curious about if there's research done on chelations and that type of stuff. Frank, it's hypergamy. I know what I've heard that term a lot before. I don't think that's a good term to accurately explain what everyone's doing. The action of marrying or forming hypergamy, is that how you pronounce it? The action of marrying or forming a sexual relationship with a person of superior sociological or educational background. So no, that's not the correct term for. In simple terms, female hypergamy is a woman's inclination to marry the best man she can find. Pregnancy is a huge investment of time and resources for a woman, so she naturally wants the best outcome she can get. That's not really a good term to like describe what, like, obviously you want to do, like, obviously you want the best you can get. Obviously a male is going to have sex with the female he finds the most attractive that he's able to get. You probably need another term where, I don't know. You still develop at 20? Yeah, I think so. My friend's a radiologist. He thinks ultrasounds are pretty safe. You could have stopped that sentence at radiologist. Okay, buddy, go live in the x-ray room. Have fun. Yeah, deuterium is a really stupid reason to avoid a food. Hypergamy. Hypergamy. All right, guys, we'll wrap this up before I start being misogynistic as usual or something. So if you guys have any more questions, you can leave comments on my main channel. We'll do a live stream maybe Thursday with the Corona News, or maybe we'll just do an Ask Me Anything. I'm laughing because of this comment. This guy, you should reenact the scene from Game Changers with the bean burrito boner bros. I feel like that would be really, really fucking funny, but I like hiring people and scripting that shit out would be too much work. If you guys haven't seen that in the fucking Game Changers movie, they get these fucking 3 guys. Oh, dude, that was so fucking funny. I can't believe I didn't make a fucking video. Didn't I make a video on that? No, I don't think I made a video only on the. I mean, I pointed it out in the video I made on the Game Changers, but I don't think I made a video on the Game Changers Bean Burrito Boner Bros. So this fucking urologist, these vegan morons got on the documentary, got like 3 athletes, and one had like a chicken burrito, one had like a beef burrito, one had like a bean burrito, and they like were showing like they put like fucking rings on these guys' cocks when they slept. And then they were like, oh, well, the guy with the bean burrito's cock was harder. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, it was so fucking funny. It was for science. It's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, we fed them bean burritos and put fucking rings on their cock. It was so fucking funny. That was one of the funniest fucking things that happened that year. Like who like their vegan fucking brains are fried if they thought that was a good idea. Yeah, no, it was hilarious. Definitely go check out the Game Changers videos if you guys haven't seen it. But on that note, we can wrap up the live stream. So thank you guys for joining me today. As I said, we'll do another live stream on Thursday around 8 p.m. We'll see if we want to do